Hello, this is Carlos, and today I'm going to be showing you how we are going to be having 5 different rowers with 5 different styles of power curves, and how we're going to help them with the power curve template to get better power curves and better rowing. So rower number 1, purple power curve is the rower, the red will be the power curve template. So we get him rowing, he's very strong, very aggressive, he just is not coordinated, and he produces this curve. With that rower, obviously he has a slack at the catch, and then he fades at the finish. So I see a problem of very aggressive change of direction at the catch and very abrupt power, not efficient. And then he fades, he doesn't have good timing at the finish of the stroke. So what I will do with that rower, because there is a lot of things to fix, but he's a strong one, is I will bring, and maybe here he's giving us 900 joules, I will bring him to 750 joules, reduce the stroke length and the peak force, and teach him to be nice and continuous. That's going to be really challenging, so you need to reduce the stroke length and the peak force, and then first start him to row properly before he can apply his power. With rower number 2, it will be a rower that normally is very skilled on the water, has good technique, has very good movements, very good feel, and has a beautiful power curve, you know, is following a good power curve. But the numbers, the joules inside are very low. He's not rowing very long and not producing my power, and he normally has very bad fitness scores. So what I will do is try to get that rower to push a little more the limits. So what I will do is draw the power curve here, instead that obsession about making him to draw it better, because he already draws it, that has a nice power curve, is to push the joules. So by getting the stroke length further and higher peak, if here he's producing 400 joules and I want this rower to produce 550, then that way, getting the curve bigger, it will increase that and the fitness will increase. Power curve number 3, we could have a girl, for example, that she rows really long and is kind of shooting the slide or doesn't produce power, is not sequencing in a powerful way her leg, body, arm, so we see a huge length but not power. So what we want is, in this case, we will tell her, okay, you know, you don't need to row that long, you don't need to be going to the extremes so long. I want you to be a little more overlap and then work with more power. So I will reduce the stroke length, increase the power, and make her follow. It will be very challenging because it's changing totally her style and overlapping her and making overlap more the legs, body, arms, but it will be a lot more efficient and powerful on the water. Okay, rower number 4 is a rower that is pretty coordinated, produces good power, normally is opening the body with the legs direct, and he is not rowing long at the catch, so he has very short stroke length, good power application, but is definitely, like we could see on the water, he's rowing like half slide or very powerfully, but it's not going long enough. So what I will do with that rower is tell him, okay, you know, you see your stroke length is not good. I will increase the power curve template stroke length. I will reduce the power, the force lower, so you could match with this curve the same joules as he's doing with his curve, but distribute it in a different way. That will help him or her to row longer and distribute the power more even through the whole drive, and at the same time will help her to see it visually, so it will be definitely faster with the same joules on the water. Rower number 5 is a very typical curve. He or she has a good power curve, good build, is smooth, has good feel for the boat, but has developed this bad habit of really not having a finish. The finish fades, but there is no kind of a snap or a change of direction or a firm extraction of the blade of the water. It kind of gets the blade stuck on the water, or the blade really has trouble to get the blade out of the water, and it produces this curve like that. So what I will do is I will do some drills to fix the finish of that rower, or to teach that rower to change direction properly at the end of the stroke. And what I will do, obviously, is then the power curve template I will put is a power curve with the same peak force, but reduced stroke length, so that we don't get that handle past the body so far away where there is no pressure on the blade and it gets dragging and gets stuck on the water, but teach the rower to properly finish the stroke and release pressure from the handle at the right time by getting a smaller stroke length here. Here you can see again numbers, indication of numbers for male and female rowers. We're talking 45% of where we peak, but then the range of stroke length for male 140 to 150, for female 120 to 140, peak force 400 to 550 on a male, 350 to 450 on a female. Joules per stroke, we're looking on a male from 600 to 900. Obviously, they'll vary in function of the stroke length and the peak and the force. And for a female, from 400 to 700. Obviously, they'll change. If we have a longer stroke length or a higher peak, the joules are higher. One of the great things of the RP3 and its software is that we can really see the power application with the power curve, and we have numbers, and we can get an idea of what our rower is doing when he's working with the blade in the water, pushing the boat, when he's pushing the flywheel from the catch to the release. So here I talk about 5 examples of rowers, but the key thing is to be able to understand when you see the power curve of your rower, what is he or she doing with that curve, what is not really working properly, and how the power curve template, if you want to make it bigger because it's too small, or you want to make it smaller because it's working too hard but it's discoordinated, how you can help with that template to teach your rower to be a lot more organized during the drive and to be able to work on the right proper power application. This is Ben Carlos. Thank you for watching.